Hello everyone, today's video all about holiday lets, Airbnb, and the tax man is after landlords. Let me tell you why. Because they reckon in the UK there are 257,000 individuals who let out rooms on Airbnb in the UK. That's per Airbnb, that's where the source of the data comes from. However, HMRC reckons that only 127,000 people in the tax year where we have the most recent data, a couple of years ago, only 127,000 people put down declared income from Airbnb activity, furnished holiday lets activity. Now, that's a shortfall of, That's about 130,000 individuals not declaring their income from renting out rooms in properties. So, HMRC's got a campaign currently going after people who they think have got this kind of income that they're not declaring and sending out what we call nudge letters. Now, a nudge letter is when you get a letter in the post from HMRC and they say, look, we think you may have some undisclosed property income here. Come on, do yourself a favour, come clean before we formally come down on you like a ton of bricks, basically. Because it's actually not a bad thing that they're giving you this nudge letter. They could have just sent you an inquiry, opened up a formal inquiry straight away and said, aha, we know we've got you, we're going to hit you for tax, penalties, interest, everything else. But actually, it's very nice of them to send you this nudge letter first and say, right, come on, now's your chance, put your affairs in order, sharpish, and then we'll come after you if you don't. So, if you're in this position and you've got a nudge letter, or even if you haven't got one, but you know that you probably should have got one because for whatever reason you've got some Airbnb income, it hasn't found its way into a tax return, for goodness sake, get it on there. Because all this data is available in the world of big data. Chances are 99 out of 100 times, HMRC will cotton on and find out and find you. So you don't want that. So for goodness sake, do yourself a favour, get your Airbnb, your furnished holiday lets income onto a tax return. So just a quick overview actually in terms of the tax itself. So remember, if you're a landlord, you've got buy-to-let property, you've got a separate business. You might be working full time, but you've got a house or two on the side. But that is still, nevertheless, deemed as a rental business, and you get taxed on the profits. So income less expenses. A lot of people know about the expenses restriction, particularly around the interest on the mortgages. However, for properties that qualify as furnished holiday lets, which a lot of Airbnb will, the tax breaks are slightly better. Not so many restrictions on expenses, and certainly better for things like capital gains tax. And the rationale is that HMRC said, when they brought in these rules many years ago, they said, look, it's commercially more risky if you've got these things on short-term lets where you can't have the single tenant in for more than 30 days. You could have many void periods. So as a kind of a quid pro quo, they said, look, we'll give you better tax breaks than if you've got someone who's going to be renting your property for years on end. That's commercially, that's a better thing for you. So to compensate for those who've got multiple short-term lets, possibility of many void periods, better tax breaks. But of course, in this digital age, Airbnb, a lot of people doing so well on Airbnb, making way more than they could have done with long-term lets. The power of this brand and then marketing and social media and everything else. Actually, the commercial risks are, I would suggest, are a lot less than they used to be. Hopefully, HMRC won't then change the rules and say, you know what, you're onto too much of a good thing with your FHL rules. If you've got Airbnb, we're going to more align it with regular buy-to-lets. I hope that doesn't happen. But anyway, it's not about that. This is all about these nudge letters. So, if you're in the property space and you've got a nudge letter, for goodness sake, do something about it. If you haven't yet received one and you think, you're in that category, get it on your tax return. Get all the income declared and go and see a tax advisor about how legitimately you can get the tax on that income reduced. Okay, so if you like this video, please do subscribe. And as always, I'll see you soon.